Hey everyone, welcome to the live, semi-live draft of the GardenStateHSWrestling.com 10th annual Charity Classic All-Star event. I am Donald J. Brower, a guy who's been harassing you all year, obviously, with my podcasts and all my videos, but we're doing something a little fun. I kind of got together with a couple local reporters, and we're going to have a fun draft. We're going to draft the teams, the upcoming 10th annual GardenStateHSWrestling.com Charity All-Star Classic. With me first, a man I have great respect for. I've known for probably about 10, 12 years now here. You know him if you're on the west coast of the Jersey, you see him around from Lehigh Valley Live, Bradley Wilson. Brad, thank you so much.
It's a pleasure to be here.
And you were the first one to reach out to me last year when you heard this was going on. You said you wanted to take on Joe Hoffman. So Brad's wanted to do this for a year, so he's ready to go. Our second participant is going to be a man who works for the Daily Record, Big Base in Morristown Region 1, Nick Gantafis from the Daily Record. Nick, thank you for joining us.
Great to be here. Thank you.
And finally, a guy I can't get away from if I tried, a man who's had more restraining orders issued on him in Warren and Sussex County than I've ever heard. No, I'm kidding. His mom made me say that so he wouldn't come home tonight. James Clark, one of my collaborators on our live broadcast. James, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Don. It's great to be here.
I think it was mandated, but okay, you're welcome. And of course, myself, Donald J. Brower. So let me explain what we're going to do a little bit here before we get started. For those of you who follow who may not have, for the last 10 years, I've been doing a charity all-star match. Originally, it started as a Morris versus Hunterdon Warren Sussex event. Last year, post-pandemic, I kind of got out and expanded into Passaic a little bit more. So it's now more of a fun event we do where somebody from each of the counties is represented. So for this year, what we did was last year was 2 teams with double the wrestlers. So it was myself and Joe Hoffman. We each had 2. This year, we made it where it was 1 reporter had 1 team. So what we're going to be doing with the draft here is we're going to be 4 wrestlers per weight. Now, before anybody complains and sends in, there might be wrestlers you go, wait a minute, they didn't wrestle at 126, vice versa. We're going by natural weight. I made sure to check that in. And then we're also going to be going, trying to keep them as best they can as far as grouping with natural weights or as close to where they wrestled in this year. The event's going to be at Morristown High School on May 6th. What will happen is there will be 2 semifinal matchups. So they'll be seated, they'll be set up, in a couple days, they'll be on there. The semifinalists, if they win, will advance to the 1 final. The 3rd place will wrestle on the other mat adjacent. We will do that as we go along. The team that accumulates the most points for the day, one of the 4 of us gets to donate the proceeds to the charity of their choice. So we have a lot of good charities. I know we've done it for American Cancer Society in the past. Pack on Pound Project. We've done it for a lot of local people. I know Jeffrey Passaic, who just passed away from Roxbury. We donated to his care. There's been just a lot of stuff we've done with this. So I'm very happy you guys are involved and everybody who's going to come out and attend the event. Now, let's get to our first weight. Brad has the first pick. It's 106. There's 4 really good wrestlers here. You have Augie Zamoretta of Warren Hills, who finished 2nd in the HWS at 106. 25-13 on the year. You have James McGinty, the babyface assassin, I call him, from Parsippany Hills, 2nd in the MCT at 106, 35-7 in first season. Then you have Jack Bergman of Lakeland, who was 1st at 106 at the PCT, 39-5. And then you have Mark Montour of West Morris, 26-9, and he's one of the wild cards. So for wild cards, let me explain that real quick before we get into picking. There's a Hunterdon Warren Sussex representative, there's a Morris, and there's a Passaic. The wild card could be one of a couple things. It could be another wrestler just to fill the weight. It could be a wrestler who may have wrestled at a different weight. For example, Brandon Dean, who wrestled, in 138 and 144, is gaining weight to wrestle freestyle, so he'll be moved up there. And then there's other ones where maybe they were injured for the county tournament. Maybe they didn't finish as well in their county tournament, but medaled in the state, which I know that was with Roche from Del Val. Finished 5th, winds up going down there and medaling in states. Those are how the wild cards work. So it's to basically make sure we get the best available matchups. But Brad, I've talked enough. You're up first. Who you taking?
I want Augie Zamoretta of Warren Hills.
Good pick there. Solid kid. He's one of those, especially with Warren Hills, they get the young guys, and it's going to be very interesting to see how he does with everything here. So it's a good pick there. Nick, you're up.
James McGinty, Parsippany Hills.
You took my assassin. The babyface assassin, I call him. Okay. I am going to go with Jack Bergman of Lakeland.
And I'll take Mark Monitor from Westmore Central.
Was like you had a difference, but I understand.
Well, there's only one choice left, so.
Perfect. All right, now we head to 113. Nick, you'll be picking first. The guys we have to choose from, Jake Taylor of Delaware Valley, who finished second at the HWS at 126, 28-9 for the year. You have Anthony Piemonte of Mount Olive, who finished first at 113, 18-7, and actually stepped up and won that, filling in as a backup, when they needed to fill somebody in the lineup. Great year by him. Then you have Anthony Nyhouse of Lakeland, second in the PCT at 113, 26-7. And then third at the MCT, 113, Rafe Fate of Mendham, 33-8. Nick, who do you take?
Anthony Piemonte, Mount Olive.
I am going to go with Rafe Fate here.
This is tough for me. I'm going to
At 113, and Morris actually lost to Piemonte. 126, 35-6. And then this is where the wild card comes to play. Tyler Hagginson. I had said that Piemonte had made the lineup. Hagginson was injured, did not wrestle in the counties. Had a great year regardless, came back and did some stuff for them. So he is the wild card, 20-3. He is actually going to be my pick here at 120.
you stole it away from me, Don. Stole that pick away from me. I'm going to take Jason Kotowski from Butler. Had a nice solid year last year.
Okay. Brad, who do you take?
I'll take Jaden Perez of Del Val. Like that kid all season. He had a terrific season. I like
very good season.
Yeah.
This is one of those where it gets to there and you're like, who do you, that's the one hard part. It's like, who do you pick? And it's like, they're all really good. That's a good fun part too, because you don't want anybody to come out here and get crushed, but it's fun just coming out here and watching,
Right.
So.
And then
Najati Salim.
Of course. I don't know why I built up the suspense. Like it was like, who does they have left to choose? Who can they choose? It was like, all right, it's kind of predetermined. All right, and then now we're going to head to 126, excuse me. Our HW representative, he didn't place in the HWS because most of you don't know, with the limits they have with bout limits, a lot of times High Point and some other teams don't wrestle a lot of their wrestlers in the HWS. This is one of those examples with Roman Citro. He didn't place in the HWS, but had a great year, 22-3. Jaden Barreto of Morris Hills, second at the MCT at 120, finished 26-12. Connor Kerwin of Passaic Valley finished second at the PCT at 120, 36-6. And first at the PCT, 126, Ryan Langenmeyer of Lakeland, who finished 37-6. Who do you got, Mr. Clark?
Oh boy, this is a tough one because all four of these guys are really good, had nice solid seasons. But I think I'm gonna go with Ryan Langenmeyer from Lakeland.
Good pick. Brad, who are you looking at?
I'll take Jaden Barretto of Morris Hills.
Nick?
Roman Citro, High Point.
I get Connor Kerwin. Now, 132. We have Tyler Redfield of Warren Hills, who finished 27-10. Third at the HWS at 126. Third at the MCT at 126, John Hager of Del Barton, who finished 16-8. Second at the PCT at 126, Tozara Tazai of Wayne Hills, 36-4. And as we said with the wild card, Matt Roche of Del Val finished fifth at the HWS. Middle down in Atlantic City finished 35-12. Now, who do you have with your pick?
Well, I'm going first this time, right?
Yes.
I got to take Matt Roche. He's one of my favorite kids. He had a fantastic year. I love the way he wrestles. I have to take him. That's a tough call because I like the Ward Hills and the Del Barton kid quite a bit, but Matt's the choice.
I mean, that's what I mean. It's one of these. It's tough because it's not like there's a runaway favorite at each weight. And like you said, Redfield and Hager are great.
I'm up.
Yep.
John Hager, Del Barton.
This is a tough one too, because I've watched both of these kids, and you know what? I'm going to go with Redfield here. Nothing against his eye. I'm going with Redfield.
And then I'll take a Desai from Wayne Hills.
Perfect. Now we're going to head to 138. Tyler Redfield, brother Sean Redfield, second at the HWS at 138, finished 35-6. Mario Fernini of Par Hills, third at the MCT at 138, 28-7. Then you have Colin Menier of West Milford, 30-6, first at the PCT. And Nick Clayton of High Point, fourth at the HWS at 120, 28-14. Nick, you're up.
Nick Clayton, High Point.
I'm going to make it easy so my singlet guy doesn't mess up. I'm going to take Redfield from Warren Hills, so that way there's no differing on the teams. They're both Redfields are in my team.
There you go. Well, it makes it easier. So, but it's my pick. I'll take Colin Maynard from West Milford.
And that leaves Mario Fornini of Parsippany Hills for me.
Perfect. Now, heading to 144, we're going to have Josh Lee, third at 132 for Warren Hills, 33-8. Jack Myers of Morristown, second at the MCT at 132, 42-4. Great season by him. Second in the PCT at 132, Arvin Silvestro of Manchester, 30-4. And then second in the PCT at 144 at Rafat Alkar Dalali from Wayne Valley, who finished 25-11. Nick, you're up.
Jack Myers, Morristown.
Stole my guy. No, I'm kidding.
Now, that guy has made a living of beating Hunterdon Warren kids that I cover in the various tournaments. It's remarkable, really.
Well, that was interesting, bringing that up, not to digress a little bit. There was a lot of, and I'm sure you might have been there, Brad. I don't know if you were. The region final when he had a medical default. Okay. I know there was a lot of people saying that the ref hadn't warned them enough, etc., whatever, but he wound up beating him in state. So I think that kind of shut down that controversy down there.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go with Arvin Silvestro. The thing about him is he had that season where Manchester had high expectations. They didn't meet where they wanted to finish as a team, but he had the heart like that. You could just tell it. He's that grinder. So I'm going to go with Arvin.
And then I'm going to take Josh Lee from Warren Hills. I think he's a really solid kid that's going to do some big things going into next year.
And then that gives you Rafat, Brad.
Right. Didn't I pick last time?
No, I thought it was no, didn't you pick?
Wait, no, I think it was Nick that picked. Was it Nick that picked? Was supposed to pick last?
No, yeah, because Brad got Fornini, so Nick would have been first. So I should have picked first this round. Is that correct?
Yeah.
That is what it is. All right.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, if I was going to change it, I'd take Jack Myers, but I'm not. I don't think it would. Well, I'll pick first this one. That way we'll make it up. Let me see. 150. We got second the HWS Nick Bilella of Hackettstown, 27-4. Jason Candelario of Madison, 28-6. Second the PCT, 138. Caden Matari of Passaic Valley, 21-9. And third in the HWS, Logan Horenko of Sparta, 33-6. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be fair because I should have been paying more attention. James, you go first this round because it would have been my pick last one. So we'll let that play, but you go first this one just to keep it fair.
Sounds good. I'm going to take the hometown man of Nicholas Bilella from Hackettstown. That I'm telling you, this is going to be a kid that's going to go into at Atlantic City next year and go down there and medal. He upset one kid this season that was like a much higher seed than him, so I'm taking Bilella.
I was really impressed by him and his teammate with their showing in Atlantic City. It was good to see Hackettstown out there and actually see Behringer out there getting ready to go crazy. So it was a fun week.
I agree about Bilella. He beat that Camden Catholic kid in the first round at States. Was very impressive in doing. He was the fifth seed, and I agree with him. I agree that he'll get a medal, and I think Sharinga, will also medal next year. So Hackettstown could have two. I think that'd be great.
Definitely. Yeah, a great run for them. Brad, you're on the clock. Who do you take?
I'll take Logan Horenko of Sparta.
Perfect. Nick?
Caden Matari, Passaic Valley.
Perfect. And I will take Jason from Madison. Perfect. Now we had the 157. This is the fun weight. I was talking a little bit about before. These next two weights are loaded for bear. So you have at 157, second the HWS 157, Bryce Coesfeld, who finished in Region 1, 29-5 record this year. Templeton of Montville, third in the MCT at 157, 32-2. You have Sean Walker of Lakeland, first at 150 at the PCT, 35-7. And you have Joseph Galetta, second to PCT at 150, 31-10. Now, it would be Brad's choice.
I will take Sean Walker of Lakeland.
Very good pick. Great kid. Nick?
Bryce Coesfeld, Kittatinny.
I'm going to go. This is a tough one.
It is tough.
I mean, this is really tough. Yeah. You know what I'm going to go? I'm going to lean for Galetta because I watched him wrestle 4 times this year, and he's just that grinder. Like, I mean, we covered him 3 matches at PCTI, and he's just one of those guys you want. You want to talk about the heart and brawl of a team. That's the kind of guy I want.
Yeah, and he's just a phenomenal defensive wrestler. That he even gave that kid from PCTI 3 matches in a row, really tough 2-1, 2-0, 1-0 matches. So that's Don. I give you credit where credit is due. That's a good pick.
I like to, and it's taking nothing away from Templeton, but this is almost like a Sophie's Choice of wrestling you're doing right here. Like with these 4 guys. All right, now we had the 165. Nick, you're up first. We have second the HWS at 165. Ethan Dawling of Kittatinny, 32-4. Matt Leslie, second at the MCT at 157, 33-10. First at the PCT, Riley Garcia of Clifton, 32-4. And first at the MCT at 144, Brandon Dean, 41-5.
Going to go with Brandon John Dean, Morris County champ.
Okay. I'm going to go. I'm going Matt Leslie. I like him. He's a good wrestler.
Very good. I will take Ethan Dowling from Kittatinny.
And you get Garcia, Brad.
That's fine.
Yeah, he's a good. Yeah, that's not too bad of a consolation prize there.
No, not at all.
All right, we're gonna head to 175. Third in the HWS at 165. Hunter Cleveland of Phillipsburg, 23 and 11. Chris Piazza of Morris Hill, second the MCT at 157, 26 and 9. Second the PCT at 175, Ashton Fava of Wayne Hills, 28 and 8. And third at the PCT at 157, Nick Barone of Wayne Valley, 19 and 12. For this one, I'm gonna go Fava.
This is a tough one for me. I'm going to go with Hunter Cleaver from Peaburg.
Brad?
Cleaver is a remarkable kid. He played defensive tackle in football and very well too. All that energy. I'll take Chris Piazza of Morris Hills.
Funny side note about Cleaver too. I actually went to high school with his mother.
Okay.
I'm a Warren Hills alum, so when I see all these kids who are wrestling through, like Reinhardt and all that, I'm like, I was there. I was there in the mid '90s when they were running through. And then Nick, you got Barone.
Yep.
Okay. 190. We have Caleb Rivera, second at the HWS at 190, 35 and 12. Nico Gonzalez of Mount Olive, sixth at the MCT at 190, 24 and 9. And then first at the PCT at 175, Nick Doctor of Clifton, 37 and 6. First at the PCT, Frankie Martino of Passaic Valley, 40 and 7. Now, Nick, no, am I wrong? Who would be the next pick? Because if you were last, then you would go third. So who would be? So then James is the first pick, correct?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to do this and type everything in, so sorry.
All right. This is actually a tough one. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna ruin your day, Don, but I'm gonna take Nick Doctor from Clifton.
Damn it. You know I like the doctor puns. Delivers surgical precision. Okay, Brad, your choice?
Caleb Rivera. I have to have a state liner.
Of course. Nick?
Frankie Martino, Passaic Valley.
And I get Nico Gonzalez of Mount Olive. Perfect. Now, 215, battle of the big guys. Getting into my weights here. Anderson Alcott of Del Val, third at 190, 29 and 9. Tommy Borgia of West Morris, third at the MCT at 215, 34 and 9. Adam Majev of Wayne Hills, second at the PCT at 215, 28 and 9. And William Knapp of Roxbury, third at the MCT at 190, 29 and 7. Okay. Brad, it's your pick?
Well, I really, really like the Borgia kid a whole lot. But I'm going to be a Hunterdon Warren homer and take Anderson Olcott at Del Val.
No worries. I kind of thought that's the way you were going to lean, but I was like, okay.
But I like Borgia a whole lot. I was really impressed with him when I saw him a couple of times this season. He's going to be a good one.
He gave Moscatello all he could handle in that opening rounds of states. He was right there. I think it was a 5-4 decision or whatever it was. And same when they wrestled each other previously. So, I mean, that's going to be solid. He's going to be a really good upperweight for that school for a while. Have I talked you into taking him, Nick? Because it's now your pick.
Yeah, that's what I'm going with, Tommy Borgia.
I kind of figured. I'm talking way too much about him. I'm like, nope, we can't do that. I am going to go. I'm going to go William Knapp.
And
then, of course, that gives
me Adam Mashvez from Wayne Hills.
Okay. Now, 285. Again, a High Point wrestler who didn't wrestle in the counties. Arik Holmes of High Point, 31 and 12. Charles Young of Morris Knowles finished second at the MCT at heavyweight, 18 and 15. Spencer Rabisky of West Milford, first at the PCT at 285, 34 and 6. And Dean Magalacavallo of Randolph, fourth at 285 at the MCT, 25 and 8. Okay. This is going to be your pick, Nick. Who do you take?
Spencer Rabitsky, West Milford.
Okay. I'm gonna take Dean. I'll take him. He's a solid wrestler. I just got to remember how to pronounce his name when I announce. I always get it wrong. One of those names I butcher completely. That name was butchered at the counties in Morris County tournament, and D. Francesco Antonio was butchered. Unbelievably bad. They just give up halfway through. It's like, I don't know if you ever heard about Nick knows D. Frances. D. Fran. And then just like they give up. They're like, they're like, we're not even calling it out anymore. Him and his brothers, same thing. D. Fran. It's like, okay, we know who that is. You're up next, there, James.
All right. This is a tough one, but I think I'm gonna go with Eric Combs from High Point. Need a High Point guy in my lineup.
That's what I'm saying. You need that. And then Nick, you're gonna get.
No, that's me.
Oh, Brad, I'm sorry. You're gonna get Charles Young. Okay.
That sounds fine.
Now, we have the girls to pick from, and just so everybody knows, I spoke with everybody how the scenario is going to go. We have 7 girls right now, so instead of picking it by weight like we're going to do, we're going to pick the individual girl, and they'll be a part of our team. They'll get the singlet, etc. And then we'll just see how it goes as far as with everything else. But the matchups we have right now in a round robin, we have Olivia Georges, Mara White, and Kayla Vasquez. We have Olivia Ra from Warren Hills versus Carolyn Beagle from Lakeland. And we have Kiera Montoya from Morris Hills versus Liliana Zaku Ramos from Newton. So I'm going to go first. I'm going to pick from the round robin, and I'm just debating between 2. But, I mean, honestly, I'm going to go with Kayla Vasquez.
Good pick.
I mean, she just was very impressive.
Yeah.
And she's one of those when you go up there and you talk to the coach, he's like, keep an eye on her. So for her to be able to put everything together this year was really impressive. James?
And then that leaves me. I'm going to take Maura White from Jefferson.
Okay. She had a good year finishing 3rd. I know she got injured playing soccer before her junior year, didn't get a chance to participate last year. So it was good to see her come back and wrestle as a senior and get on the stand. Brad?
Well, in continuing my Hunterdon Warren homer trend, I'll take Olivia Rye of Warren Hills.
Okay. Is that right? Nick?
Olivia Georges, football.
I am going to go with the tough one. I think I'm going to lean. You know what? I'm going to go with Carolyn Beagle of Lakeland. You make 2nd in the state, come on. Like it's not too hard to pick from that. But James?
Let's see. Mora is taken. George is taken. Vasquez.
You got Montoya or Zaku Ramos?
Okay. I'm going to take Zaku Ramos. I thought when I saw her wrestle earlier in the year, I thought she was pretty impressive. So I'm going to take her.
And then Brad, that will give you Kiera Montoya.
That is fine.
Okay. Now, for everybody watching, I'll have these posted up there. We're doing some different stuff with the singlets. Before we get in, and everything else, if everybody wants to tell the fans at home what their team names are going to be, we'll start with you, Brad.
My outfit is Wilson's Wildcats.
Perfect. Nick?
I'm going to go with Nick's Knights.
James?
Clark's Dream Team.
And I'm going with Broward Brawlers. Hopefully there won't be a fight on the mat. But I want some tough wrestling out there. But we also have a great lineup of coaches. I know people have been asking. So far confirmed, we haven't decided on what team they're going to be coaching, but we have a state champion from this year from North Hunterdon, Logan Wadle. He'll be there. A great wrestler for Parsippany. About what, 6 years ago, 5 years ago, Nick, he graduated. Illick.
Yeah.
So Mike Illick will be there. last year's, a year ago, state champ Joe Fungaro, 3-time state champion Brian Soldano, and 3-time state champion Jimmy Mullen have confirmed that they will be coaches at the event. We'll be adding more as we go along, so keep an eye out for that. Each team will have 2 to 3 coaches, so we'll have fun with that. And then our referees, Jim Schultz, thank you so much for helping out with everything. Great job in the referees. But we have Mike Interoshia, Kyle Piazza, Steve Barone, John Stampone, and Dave Sally. So quality referees we're going to have. So if you want to come out and check it out, it's May 6th at 1 p.m. at Morristown High School. We're going to be starting with 2 girls matches on consecutive mats. Then we're going to be starting at 1:13. Reason being is there's 2 wrestlers at 1:06 who are taking SATs that day. We want to just give them enough time so they don't come in late and get hurt. We want to make sure they're able to warm up and do that. So we'll wrestle through. Then we'll have another set of girls matches, and we'll be taking pictures then, because then we'll have everybody at the building. We can take pictures of all the teams together, and then we'll have the finals and the 3rd place as well as the final girls match, and that will be starting at 1 p.m. at Morristown High School. You can get your tickets at GardenStateHSWrestling.com. You'll see the link on the website. Follow us on all our social medias, Garden State HS Wrestling on Facebook, at Garden State HSW on Twitter, at Garden State HS Wrestling on Instagram, on YouTube right there. Like and subscribe to get all our information and be able to follow us with all our updates and everything. And like I said, we're going to, the winning team, whoever accumulates the most points, is going to not only get bragging rights when it comes to the New Jersey Wrestling Writers Association poll, but also be able to have bragging rights. Just seeing, because it's a fun event to come out and check out, and you get to see some people going all out. And the format, as I said, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, is a 2-1-1 format. The reason we do that is, I don't know if you've ever seen wrestling, heavyweight wrestling in the off season. Nobody needs to sit through 6 minutes of that. We're good. So we do 2-1-1 so everybody can have some fun. And then I know the girls have all said they want to go the full 6. We're fine with that, and some other weights might as well. But it's a super enjoyable, fun time. Everybody gets to come out and have kind of one last hurrah with the seniors that they know, or see some young up-and-comers. But before we go, does anybody have any social media they want to plug your businesses, whatever? Twitter handles, anything?
It's always fun to trot on by our website at LehighValleyLive.com and see what we've got going.
I always check it out. That's the only reason I know anything going on in Pennsylvania wrestling.
2 states, of course. So, yeah.
Nick?
DailyRecord.com.
Now, James, I know you really don't work in the press or do anything. Is there anybody that you want to mention so you don't get a restraining order or get apologized? Anybody? I know you talked about Hot Dog Johnny's and you being banned from there. Maybe you can get a good plug for him.
Well, I just enjoy doing this. Don has really taken me under his wing, and
Don't blame me.
So, it's always been a lot of fun. So looking forward to covering some more matches coming in next year.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a fun one. It's a nice way to kind of wrap up the season and then kind of turn your attention towards it at the end. Let the guys kind of get after after states and let them come out and do something fun and enjoy themselves. That's why we don't do the weigh-ins and we do natural weight. But thank you guys so much. Keep your eye on the website for everything we got going on. But for Brad Wilson, Nick Tiffis, and James Clark, I'm Donald Brower. I'll see you in Morristown on the 6th.